How's it going, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today we're back with Phantom Seer Chapter 21. First chapter I'm doing on Phantom Seer, so I'm excited about that. It was a good chapter. Not a whole lot happened. We're kind of just setting up for what's to come here forth. And yeah, either way, we start off with Kanzuki, who, well, got his big break last time. By big break, I mean he got the ace treatment from One Piece and got a giant hole in the chest. So that's always fun. Anyway, I got my notes again because I got dumb brain today and I can't remember a damn thing. Anyway, I do like the fact that they explained that the foxes went to the school after Kanzuki died. Not that people at the school saw him die, they were alone, but people still know Kanzuki, and what are they telling? Oh, he just gone. Not gonna have a funeral with the body. So yeah, they went and they erased everybody's memory of Kanzuki, so we can just scrap the school. Don't have any questions about that. No loopholes back to that. Just a quick little like, all right, shoot it to the side. But either way, it ties up the loose end, which is nice. And after that, we start off again with Mr. Akama. The guy who was talking to Yayoi last time. I love his design. He's bald, but he's got these tattoos running from like ear over his head to the other ear. And then he's got like a loose business suit on. Like, it's a nice suit, but the tie's just loose. The top button's not done. Shirt's not tucked in. Nothing's done like that. And then he's got those like Japanese sandals on. So it's supposed to be like proper look, but it's not at all. Not even close. So I love his design. And then he's leaving. He sees Iori and Riku and stops to talk to them. And I'm guessing his assistant named Kendo, he just shits on him. He basically does that like 2 or 3 times throughout the chapter. That's basically Kendo's job, is just to shit on Mr. Akama, which I think is kind of funny, even though the fact that I love Mr. Okama. Oh, I'm going to make that mistake a couple times. Mr. Akama. So different, just change one little letter. Alright, anyway, moving on from that, we have Mr. Uchigami, or the tree caretaker in Tsukiyomi Mansion. It's going to take so long for me to get all these names and remember them and get them all right. This is going to kill me. Anyway, he puts Sumiji down, or the girl who was the fox demon? I don't know what the hell she was. But we do learn that she's almost back to normal. It's very residual, but there is still some phantom left, I guess you could say. We also figure out that killing Senju Doji will completely get rid of this, because obviously Kanzuki had Senju's arm. I'm just going to start calling her Senju from now on. They've done it a couple times in the manga, and it's just way easier. So we're just going to stick with Senju. But Kanzuki had Senju's arm, and that's what he used to turn Sumiji into what she was. So killing her, theoretically at least, would turn Sumiji back to normal, along with everybody else that's been affected by her. But for right now, they're going to monitor her health at Tsukiyomi Mansion, I guess it's the same thing. And right now, we do also learn she's not human or phantom. So all these people that are going to be manipulated by Senju or her conceiving hands, they're something in between now. It truly does meld them together into a new being. Something we don't see very often. Iori is actually very comforting to Sumiji. He tells her, he's like, hey, I know what it's like to just want to be normal, so don't worry. We're going to take care of this. So it's nice to see Iori kind of let that side out a little bit more. So after this, Mr. Akama goes on to talk to Riku and Iori about why he's here and why he wants to talk to them in the first place. So, they found a conceiving hand. So, obviously, that's next step. Go find the next conceiving hand and see where we can go from here. And it does kind of feel like we're setting up. I don't know if it's going to be an arc for each conceiving hand. Like, it's going to be this conceiving hand arc, then that conceiving hand arc. Or it's going to be an arc of just conceiving hand arc. So I don't know if it's all going to be in one arc or if they're going to be dragged out more. Things we're going to find out. I guess it really just depends on exactly how strong they are. But we'll kind of get a little bit into that later. Either way, he tells them that he's already talked to Kenma and he's going to be coming with them. They found a conceiving hand, so they leave with Akama and Kendo and get in the car and they leave. So when Kenma goes with them, it's funny. The first scene we get in the car, Mr. Akama tells Kenma, he says, sorry for making you come with us. And Iori immediately just, it's no problem. Kenma's like, don't answer for me. He didn't talk to you. I just love the way Iori treats Kenma. It's hilarious. And we do come to find out that the people from the last chapter are, in fact, other conceiving hands. You could have kind of guessed that. I didn't think a whole lot into them last chapter because I figured we'd probably get a little bit something on them. But we do, in fact, get the fact that they are conceiving hands. Wow, that was a sentence that just did not come out right. That was terrible. The fact that, in fact, the fact conceiving fact hands. God, you can tell I haven't done this in 3 days. Anyway, we do actually get the names of all the conceiving hands, which is awesome, and we get the names given to us for each one that we've met so far, because there are 2 that we have not met yet. I will get to their names last, obviously, because we have not seen them yet, but the guy who put the big hole in Kanzuki with the little water ball he had sitting in front of his hand, he's called Rain Man. Love it. Got Rain Man. Puppet Master was the lady with the creepy veil on her face. And then the guy with the, like, tattered shirt and, like, multicolored hair, he was Ensemble. And then, obviously, we had Kanzuki, but, well, his name's crossed out for a reason there. He's been crossed out of existence. He's done. We don't need him anymore. But then we have Omen for the first one that we haven't met. And finally, I hope this is the last one we meet. I hope we meet Ogre first and then... Sorry, not Ogre. Omen. You're going to figure out why I mixed it up and said Ogre. I hope we meet Omen before we meet this one, because this one has my favorite name easily. Thumbelina Ogre. Thumbelina Ogre. What? I love it. I love it. I hope that's the last one we meet. Thumbelina Ogre. Probably not the strongest. I'm going to guess Ensemble is the strongest because he's got like the pretty boy look. And on the page, he was the very bottom one. He had the biggest design. He was at the very bottom. And they kind of seemed to start at the top with Rain Man and trickle down to Ensemble, where he was the biggest on the page and took up the most focus. So he'll probably be the strongest. But I can always hope. Anyway, we also figure out that Kanzuki was nothing compared to these guys. So they're going to get a lot stronger, probably a lot quicker. Probably starting with the very next one we're going to deal with, which, remember, one of them was named Puppet Master. And after learning all the names of the conceiving hands, we have Kendo driving the car for Mr. Akama, and he's literally slamming this thing off of the sidewall on the road. Just all over the place, throwing the car back and forth, and they're kind of calling him out on it, which, honestly, I would be too, but Kendo still seems to turn around and make it something bad about Mr. Akama. He's like, if you were driving, we wouldn't get there on time. Wham! He just slams it off the side. I don't know why they let him drive. I would not let him drive. But anyway, this, I'm pretty sure, is just a mechanism to make a doll fall out of Riku's purse. Puppet Master, doll. Anyway, the doll's named Tupac. Not actually, the doll is a Tupac, but not like Tupac, like a lot of us would think of when we think of Tupac. Tupok. Okay, so what is a Tupac? I have no idea. Some social media fad. It's a Cabbage Patch Kid. They're Cabbage Patch Kids. It's what they are. We have a Cabbage Patch Kid art. Anyway, they're really weird ass looking Cabbage Patch dolls, and they get to a place called the Dollhouse, and everybody walking out of this place has one of these dolls, and they're just looking at them. Like, they love these things. It's weird. It's creepy. They're just staring at him contently. So people really like these dolls, and this is when Mr. Akama tells us that this is the puppet master. That's the conceiving hand that we found. So this is where I kind of go back to that whole, I don't know if conceiving hands are going to be a whole arc with every conceiving hand, or are we going to get a puppet master arc, then a Rain Man arc, then an ensemble arc, then... So if they went down that road, I feel like those would be all of our main antagonists for the series, because if you do an arc for each one, that's... Six arcs. 5 conceiving hand arcs, Senju Doji arc. That would be a decently long series with just them. So I don't know if we're going to do one arc with just the conceiving hands and then go to Senju Doji from there, and it's just going to be a very long arc with all the conceiving hands, or if we're going to do a couple conceiving hands, then a fight between the conceiving hands and the rest of them being, the shamans going against each other, and then Senju Doji after that. I don't know how we're going to do this, but it gives plenty of options. You could do it quick, fast, long, slow. You could break it up into different parts. You could have time skip. You could do all kinds of things with it. So I guess it's really just what the author wants to do and how long they want to make the series. I feel like you can make it pretty short by just doing all 5 conceiving hands and then Senju Doji. But I also feel like you could drag it out for a while if you wanted to. But with that being said, I like their designs. Rain Man's got this creepy mask, Bane looking thing. But he's Tokyo Ghoul-esque, sort of, at least from the way we saw him depicted in the chapter. We didn't get like a full look at him in this chapter close up. And I didn't go back and look at last chapter again. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see the 2 new ones that we at least got names for. But that's something, so that's good. Completely forgot about something. We found a doll at Kanzuki's house that had the exact same hole in it that Kanzuki had in him. So now that makes me question. Did the puppet master hold up the doll of Kanzuki and have Rain Man shoot a little hole in the doll that made a big hole in Kanzuki? Or did Rain Man shoot a hole in Kanzuki that made a little hole in the doll? That kind of makes a difference. If he shot a big hole in Kanzuki and the little hole appeared on the doll, that's a little more terrifying than if it was just the puppet master holding up the doll and Rain Man just whip, just a little tiny hole in it. So I don't know exactly what happened there, but that will probably be answered after we know more about how the puppet master's power works. Obviously we don't. I'm guessing that people are going to be somehow connected to the doll through their soul or spirit or some form of that, or the doll is a medium for a phantom that can then attach to the human after they hold on to the doll for so long, or whatever the mechanism is. Those are my 2 best guesses with them, but obviously we have no idea. But it's fun to speculate, and that's why I'm doing this, so I can speculate and talk about the chapters and talk to you guys about the chapters. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be doing plenty more Phantom Seer. I don't know if there's any discussion videos I have right now, but I'm sure I will have plenty of stuff to talk about between this and Kaiju number 8. So stick around, like and subscribe to the video if you enjoyed. I love you forever. I'd appreciate it more than you know. And with that being said, I'm going to let you guys get back to the rest of your day. I'm out, and I'll see you next time.